Hello students, I am again back with your third chapter of civics, that is why do we need parliament. Children, in our previous session we have seen why should people decide, means why people should decide to have a parliament and why people should select their representatives and people and their representatives. We have seen in the second topic also that people and their representatives. Who are these representatives? Children, people have their representatives because see, we all know that in our India the population is more than 1.30 crore people, right? So all in all people cannot be a member of parliament. They cannot sit in the parliament. We have seen the parliament images also. Here also it is given on your page number 34. Here is the parliament, that is also called as the Sansad Bhavan, right? See, all the members cannot sit here in parliament. So from one constituency, from one area. See, I'll tell you that if this is India, right? So in India there are small and big constituencies, and from each constituencies there is one member. Either that member be from the Congress, that may be from BJP, there may be from AAP, that is Aam Aadmi Janata Party. So these is what people have their representatives from their own constituencies. So in all there are 545 constituencies and these are the members, right? We will see that. But the role of the parliament in that, the parliament is our system, has an immense power. Parliament has an immense power. Immense power means it has a lot of power. If a person, Parliament itself is a rule book, we can say. It is a supreme law making institution. That is why it has an immense power. It has more power than anybody else in the country, right? So that is why it is also known as a supreme law making institution, right? See here, this has created after 1947. The Indian Parliament is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in the principles of a democracy. Now, there are participation by the people in the decision making process and the government by consent. Means here, people are also concerned in the decision making, right? The parliament is our system and has immense power because it is representative of the people. Because as I told you that it is because of the people, those members, those representatives who are sitting in this parliament, who are in the parliament, they are because of us, because we all common men, because of us common people, this representative we are electing and we are making them able to sit in this parliament, right? Now, elections to the parliament are held in a similar manner as there are for the state legislature. It is same, the procedure is same as we have in a state legislature. The Lok Sabha is usually elected once every 5 years. Yes, it is the procedure of the Lok Sabha is also it is once in every 5 years, right? As we all know that this whole parliament is divided into two houses, that is one is upper house and another is a lower house, right? Upper house is also known as a Rajya Sabha and lower house is called as a Lok Sabha, right? But the difference between two is that, and these also have their own members, right? Now the country is divided into the numbers of constituencies as shown in the map on page number 41. We will see that back. Each of them constituencies elect one person to the parliament. See children, before that I will tell you something about the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. See, in Lok Sabha it is also known as the house of the people, which are directly chose by the people. Means it is a house of the people, it is a house of people to whom we general people have elected. From each constitution one member is elected. So in and all there are for total 543 constituencies. Now you might be asking that there are total 545 members. What about the two members Now children, these two members are directly appointed, and those are two Anglo-Indians, because from the Britishers time, those Britishers or those foreigners still residing in India, and for them these two Anglo-Indians are the representative, and they are directly appointed by the president, right? Now out of this total 545, I again repeat that out of this 545 there are 543 which are directly appointed, means it is a people, those are the representative whom we are selecting, whom we are electing, and make them able to make them representative from our side, right? And two are the Anglo-Indians, right? So that is a thing of Lok Sabha. Now we will come to Rajya Sabha. Now in and all Rajya Sabha there are 245 members. Now again this 245 members are divided into 233 plus 12. I will tell you that how it is. Now these 12 members are directly appointed by the president. These 12 members, they are either well versed in some particular field. Either he is well versed in literature, educationist, doctorate in medical science, in sports, whatever it may be. So these 12 members are very much highly having experience of these particular fields. And Rajya Sabha, it is chaired by the vice president, that is a head, it is headed, this the seat of the Rajya Sabha is headed by the vice president, whereas Lok Sabha is chaired by the speaker, right? So this is what I have given you about the brief information about both the houses of, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Right. Now the candidates whose contest election usually belong to the different political parties. Now here it has given different political parties. You will see here Bharatiya Janata Party, Communist Party of India, Indian National Congress, Nationalist Congress Party. Now this is what all the parties which we are having in our India, and this is the total number of MPs which are being elected, because this is the result of May 2014. Now the recent we have elections in 2019 also, so those who are having a new textbook in there, the list might be different. So that is the thing, we have this list in our textbook that how many seats of a particular party has their representatives, that is given over here, right? So these are the things. Now once elected, these candidates become member of parliament, or it is also known as a MP, that is a member of parliament. These MPs together make up the parliament. These all the members that which are elected on behalf of us as a representative, that they are called as a member of parliament. Once elections to the parliament have taken place, the parliament needs to perform the following functions. These are the functions which they have to perform. That we will see in our next session. What are the functions which this member of parliaments are performing, that we will see in our next session. By this time, enjoy your festivals. Happy Eid to all of you, and happy Raksha Bandhan to all the students. Have a nice day and take care of your health. Bye.